Riveting content. Empowering your life. Welcome to the Sphere. This episode is sponsored by Houston Housewives of Finance. For more information on increasing your cash flow, becoming your own money manager, and to schedule your complimentary personal finance strategy, contact the Houston Housewives of Finance today at 1-844-700-4463.
The Sphere Network. Looking to advertise? Join the Sphere's vast demographic reach of thousands of people all over the world. Send an email today at advertise@thesphere.tv or call us at area code 832-772-7789. Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, Dr. Ashandra Baptiste understands that one of the biggest obstacles is dental fear. The vision at Elite Dental Wellness is to ensure every patient is treated with respect, ultimate care, patience, and love. Call us today to make an appointment at area code 713-789-8680.
What's up, folks? Welcome back to Technocrats, where we're talking about the ins and outs of technology to empower the digital you. I am your host, Gary Lee, also known as G Hawkins. Of course, you can find me anywhere online: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with the Z. And I'm with the lovely Ari McKinney. Ari, how are you doing, my dear?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I'm loving the spaceman on a unicorn with a
you.
rainbow.
Right?
Rainbow to add.
Hello.
Yes, indeed. And of course, folks, we are Facebook Live. So remember, we're only Facebook Live for the first 15, 20 minutes, but you are at the right place to be when it comes to your technology-based news. Any questions you have surrounding technology while we're going through this, make sure to just throw those into the Facebook. And of course, share it out. Share with your family and friends and colleagues, because we're talking about a lot of great things today, including the new E-Tron from Audi. We're talking about SpaceX and their flight around the moon. We're also going to talk a little bit about some cool tech with your significant other, as well as some other digital trends that you want to be abreast upon. So, you ready to hop in, Aaron?
Let's do it.
Let's hop in. So, first up to bat is
about
good old Elon Musk. He, being the CEO and founder of SpaceX, is ready to send someone around the moon. Let's take a look at this. It's a billion.
It's a billionaire.
So let's talk about this digital trend that we're hopping in right now. And SpaceX is sending someone around the moon in 2023. And this is going to be the first ever private citizen to take this flight. Now, this ushers in a very enjoyable to some, but new era of space flight.
Not enjoyable to me.
Not at all?
Scary as shit.
No, well, hey, I understand. I definitely understand.
Scary as shit.
But the big thing is the idea of taking someone out of our current atmosphere
recreationally.
that is a civilian, and that's the beauty of what we're doing. Now, this person is going to be flying on SpaceX BFR. That's their big Falcon rocket.
We've had behind the scenes discussions about what we think Elon Musk wanted to call it. Should we share?
Sure. No, we shouldn't. This is PG. This is PG-13.
Okay.
So we'll have to
let
share
you
it
guess.
on an explicit one.
We'll let you guess.
But we're gonna go with big Falcon rocket for today. And of course, this particular rocket has some a great setup in order to get people out. We've got multiple stage engines, and this is something that is going to be the premier design that's designed to get people over to Mars. So this would be a great test run, so to speak, especially with the fact that moon missions ended over 30 years ago, back when Apollo missions were going out in the 70s. So I'm excited to see Elon and SpaceX get to the point to where they're ready to take someone out of this solar system. And I know that you mentioned you're scared about this. I want to talk, before we talk about who the person is that's headed out, let's talk a little bit about what your fears are when it comes to someone exiting our orbit heading towards the moon.
It would be easier to talk about what my fears are not.
Okay. Well, we can hit it from that angle.
I mean, it's just, I would love to watch other people do it. I'm interested.
When you say
but I'm not
people,
anyone but me.
Anyone but you.
I'm not interested in being one of the first few flights up there.
Now,
are you?
Well, you want my honest answer?
I do. I asked.
Keep it a buck. So,
I do.
So here's my thing. For those that don't know, and I see people tuned in, make sure y'all, hey, for those that are hopped in, say hi. We want to give you a shout out and dive into this conversation. We definitely want to do that. So if you're in Facebook Live right now, say what's up. We want to have this conversation.
Yes.
I grew up wanting to be an astronaut.
Really?
Yeah. So I went.
Does my son.
I mean, my first, move into college was Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, right? So engineering physics was my major. I literally went to school to be an astronaut.
And what happened?
I couldn't afford to stay out there. My parents couldn't afford, so I had to come back here, went to U of H. But that was always in my heart. And I studied a lot. I learned a lot.
So you must be uber intrigued by this.
I am.
You would get on it, wouldn't you?
I would love to take a trip around the moon.
No.
Today.
Like
I would love that.
Nope.
Now, I wouldn't want to be the first to go to Mars, right? So once again, for those that are tuned in right now, this ain't rocking. And we see you, Alvin. What's up?
Hi, Alvin.
Appreciate the shout out.
Thanks, Alvin.
So I wouldn't want to be the first to go to Mars simply because there needs to be an exit strategy.
Right. That's my thing. Where do we get out if shit goes wrong?
And it's a heavier conversation.
Very much.
Especially when you're talking about the existence of life on a foreign planet.
Right.
But when we're talking about the BFR, and for those that are watching us right now, we've got an image up so you can get an idea of its length, of the payload, and things like that. This rocket is designed for interplanetary travel.
It is.
So the idea of being on a circuit to go around the moon, to me, is a lot more feasible based on its design.
Now, if I have to choose between, a trip to Mars and going around the moon, it's like, hi, there's this crater. Hi, there's that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's what I picture in my mind. Like when I picture being on this, I picture like, hi, there's that, like a tour, like a spaceship cruise, so to speak, if you will. That's what's in my head. But still, I'm a little leery.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I'm a little leery.
I mean, and
like it's terrifying to me. Like, first of all, I could never be an astronaut. Like the whole surrounded by darkness and all that. It's not my jam.
No,
it's not my thing. You know what I mean?
It's not for everybody.
I want to see, I want somebody to attach like a GoPro to themselves and let me can they Facebook Live it while they
we'll see. I'm sure Elon
you know
has
what I mean? I'm sure he has a plan
BFR.
for that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. But at 55 meters in length, that's the full length of the BFR itself, the rocket that's actually going to be traversing this 250,000 mile loop. And once
loop.
So and that's the first phase of it, right? To get to the moon, loop around, because you got to stay outside the moon's orbit and then come back. So it's about a half a million miles. To go.
That's a lot of miles.
That's the full length of
that
this,
right there. You just spoke on my fear.
Well,
that's a long way away if something goes south.
And then
you know what I mean?
Side, though, you're traveling at a little over 25 to 35,000 miles an hour. Right. So the speed that you're moving is a lot different than what we're accustomed to here because of how space works.
Right.
So it's a lot involved. 7 Raptor engines. You've got fins on these things, and of course landing pads. Keep in mind, this device, this BFR, was designed to land on other planets.
Right.
So there are a lot of things that are put in place with this to make a simple circuit staying in orbit a lot more feasible than landing on Mars. But the big thing about this is the person that's
the
going.
person. That's what I was going to say. Let's get into him. Let's talk about who that is.
Let's dive a little deeper and talk about the person that's going. This man is
multi-bajillionaire
gentleman that's hopped on this and from Japan,
right?
And and tell me, am I pronouncing this correctly? Or you want to pronounce it?
If you let me look at it again.
Yusaku.
Let me look at it again.
No, you're fine. Yusaku Maezawa.
Maezawa.
Maezawa. Yusaku
He's
Maezawa.
a Japanese billionaire, multi-billionaire, who is taking a few of his friends along.
A few artists. So
specifically.
So now this is in a totally different environment,
right?
For artistry and to build upon this.
Now this part intrigues me.
Okay,
like
talk
that
about it.
part I like. You know what I mean? Like the whole going around the moon. We've established that scares me a lot. But I think his approach is really interesting. Like artists, why? Like,
yeah,
why? You know, what made you decide that's what we're gonna do with this?
Yeah, and they never talked about how much this cost him.
They did not.
This Japanese billionaire.
It's one of those, I guess, if you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Exactly. But the idea of taking friends so that they can create in space or give them a different atmosphere for creation.
I think that's cool.
I think it's very cool. And if you've got the dollars to do so, why not have the fun associated with it, right? Right. And this won't be the first. And I think the most beautiful part of this, for those that are tuned in right now, you're watching this on Facebook, or you're sitting in your car right now, you're listening to this on Spotify. I think the beauty of this is that this opens the door. If successful, this then opens the door for, one, the price to come down, but for two, to become a true global trend for space tourism.
You think the price will come down?
Of course, right? So I read a great book, and I'm a big fan when it comes to reading about first and foremost post-apocalyptic, but two, science fiction as a whole. Okay. The author of a series that I was reading made mention of the cost per kilogram for interplanetary travel, right?
Interesting.
So
if did it that way.
Exactly, right? Right? Like, so the cost per kilogram, I was reading Artemis, and it's I think it was Ernest Cline, I think is the one. He also did Ready Player One, right, which is the movie that just came out. Spielberg redid it for obviously for TV or for the big screen. Right. But he talked about the cost per kilogram to get product or people into space,
commodities.
And if you can refuel in space, that dramatically brings the cost down. I think that's something that Elon is planning for, to be able to refuel at some point, because you've got to be able to get to Mars.
Well, that was going to be my next question. I was going to be like, so how's that going to work?
Yeah.
Like, so is the spaceship going to have enough fuel to go around the moon? Is he planning something, a refuel station, so to speak, in space?
So the fuel part, the first part around the moon, we're good.
We're good with that. We're already good with that.
Once you've propelled up to the velocity you need to traverse, now it's just keeping your proper orbit and being able to come back and land. And you need propellant, obviously, along the way to make small adjustments and then come back into orbit and land.
Teach me something.
Yeah, that's
like teach
that's
me
easy.
something.
So we've got the main booster, which will then separate to get us up into space.
Okay.
Stay in orbit, propel back and break orbit again to get back down and land. Being able to refuel in space is the next big challenge, and that comes from being able to get the stuff we need from the moon, being able to mine the moon or other things to be able to create the propellant in space and refuel. Right. That's the big thing. But when you can do that, which they're going to have to do for Mars, now you cut the cost on all the launches.
That's true.
And everything else, and then you're talking about commercialized space travel that goes up. So now we've got some bigger opportunities. And then when you start to think about just being able to traverse the outer atmosphere for local travel, that speeds up commuting on the planet. So it's a lot of great things that come from this.
There's a lot of really cool stuff
going
on.
I'm going real technical.
You are. I can see. You're real passionate.
I'm getting real nerd. I'm getting real excited.
You're in your feelings about it, and I'm loving it. I'm loving every second of it.
Yeah, I'm here for all of this
I can see, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, so,
I'm here for you being here for all of it.
Yasaku, if we're pronouncing that correctly. Sorry, any of our people who tune in Japan, make sure to email us or tweet us at the Sphere TV. Let us know. Make sure we get the naming proper. We're excited for you to make this trip in 2023. We hope it stays on schedule for 2023.
Yes, I do.
Which means Mars won't be too far behind. So hopefully we'll see that within the next decade. But we want to know what you all think. For those that are tuned in right now on Facebook Live, let us know. Would you go to Mars? Would you take a circuit around the moon?
Or are you like me?
Yeah.
You're like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll watch from from the planet
Are
that
you
I'm
Team
comfortable
Ari?
with. Are
You
you
Team
Team Ari?
Gary?
Are you Team Gary? What's up?
Let us know. Let us know how you feel about that. If you want to traverse around the moon, keeping in the feels of digital trends.
The feels.
And actually, you know what? Before I do that, because we did talk about the fact that the cost gets adjusted, right? And costs are important. Speaking of costs, this particular portion of our show is sponsored by the Houston Housewives of Finance. So, did you know that only 4 states in the United States offer financial education? 33% or more than 77 million of Americans don't pay their bills on time. 39% of Americans carry credit card debt from month to month. And 39% of adults say that they don't have enough in savings. Don't become one of these statistics, folks. Let Houston Housewives of Finance advise you on increasing your cash flow and becoming your own money manager by scheduling your complimentary personal financial strategy. Contact Houston Housewives of Finance today at area code 844-700-4463 or send them an email over to info@houstonhousewivesoffinance.com. Ask them how you can participate in a complimentary financial literacy workshop near you. Houston Housewives of Finances are the new faces of the new age of financial services. So, cha-ching. Cha-ching on that. Cha-ching on that.
Ching, ching.
Next up is something that I'm really excited about, and that has to do with electric vehicles.
Here we go.
I would love to know if anybody that's tuned in right now via Facebook Live or anyone that's watching this at home via YouTube or via iTunes on the video podcast side, are you riding an electric vehicle? You know, how do you feel about moving away from gasoline? And I know we don't have a lot of options just yet, right? You've got the Nissan Leaf, pure electric Nissan Leaf. You got the Tesla Model S, the X, and the Model 3.
I love the
You've
Tesla.
got three different options there. You've also got another EV from Mitsubishi, which doesn't get a lot of love. You've also got an e-Golf that doesn't get a lot of love.
Haven't heard of either of those.
Yeah, so you got a handful of sprinkle. You've got the BMW i3, which they make a all-electric version, which gets about 80 miles to the gallon, versus their combo version, which also has a gasoline engine. But for those that are driving pure electric, I want to know, are you comfortable? Or for those that are considering driving pure electric, how do you feel about that?
Right.
One of the biggest things that's coming down the pipe is everyone starting to race to get into this electric vehicle space. And yes, I've included a couple of puns in there from space, race, and a bunch of other stuff. But
I'm here with you.
We want to dive deep into this conversation about a new upcoming electric vehicle. Unfortunately, before we dive into that, Facebook Livers,
you can't get it here.
You can't. We gotta let you go.
You can't get it.
Hey, we love you, but we're getting close to our time on Facebook Live. So, Facebook Livers, you've got to go subscribe. Before we dive into this, head over to sphere.tv/Technocrats. We've got a few options for you. You can find us right there via iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, Stitcher, Spreaker. We're on Spotify. We're even in your kitchen on your Amazon Alexa, folks.
Hey.
So while you're there, make sure you give us some constructive criticism. Let us know how we're doing. Rate our show. Give us those likes, those dislikes.
Tweet us.
Tweet us. Give us those comments. We want to know if we're creating a great show that's for you. And, of course, share with your family, your friends, your colleagues. Share with your lovers. Share with your haters. Share with anyone you know that can benefit from some technology-based news that you can use. And, of course, last but not least, if you truly love what you're doing, go donate. Head over to sphere.tv/donate. We've got a few options. You can donate one time on the website via the single donation button, or you can donate via Patreon if you want to become a subscription-based donator. And we're going to get some exclusive content and sit-down interviews that's just for you on Patreon. So, show's not ending, folks. Facebook Livers, we appreciate you for tuning in. Alvin, we see you. And I know there's a few other people that tuned in to Facebook Live. I think I saw
follow us.
V hopped in on it earlier. So we just want to make sure you're subscribed right here at the Sphere.
Please.
So let's talk about good old Audi coming in with their new E-Tron vehicle.
Yes.
Holy guacamole, does this thing look sweet?
It looks pretty
Am
sick.
I right, Ari?
It looks pretty sick. I'm not going to lie.
Let's talk about it. Ari,
I like it.
this is a beautiful vehicle. How would you feel comfortable rocking with this new Audi E-Tron SUV?
Yes, and a yes and a yes. Yes, it looks sick.
It's a gorgeous
It's
vehicle.
a gorgeous car. Other than that, they ain't gonna be having it in the States.
Well,
First, anyway.
Well, yeah, and that never happens.
First, that never
right?
really happens anyway. It's a German car,
Yeah, it's a German
engineering. But I'm a
Yeah.
sucker for good old German engineering.
Hey,
So and it looks like all the bells and the whistles. It's just yes.
yes, I am here
I'm like
for it.
I'm team yes on that.
Exactly. Open
Yeah.
it up at a little under $75,000, which is the average price for an electric SUV.
I think that's pretty reasonable
as of right now.
honestly.
Especially when you when you look at your gas savings from
Right.
that, your maintenance savings from that. And once again, folks, this is a pure
Pure
electric vehicle. This is not
Not
an
a
electric hybrid. You got some extra. No, that means
Nope.
you don't have any of the maintenance that's
Right.
associated. We're talking no spark plugs. We're
Carbon.
talking no belts, no hoses, no water pumps.
None of it.
We're talking no tune-ups. We're talking
But
no timing belt. We're
Coming from someone who knows nothing about cars. Like,
Exactly.
I literally just want to put gas in my car and drive it. Like,
yeah,
that's
and,
it.
And you can't do that right now, right?
Right.
You've got to maintain that vehicle.
Right. But like, what does the cost of repairs look like for something like that?
Well, that's some of the $1 million question. But when you think about repairs, you have to think about what are you normally repairing when it comes to
That's
a vehicle.
true.
You're normally repairing something with a movable part that's
Correct.
usually in the engine or transmission.
That you won't have in that car.
You don't even have an engine.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you have an electric motor that depending on what
Right.
the size of that is, but it's normally a self-contained item.
Right.
And then you usually have a 1-speed self-contained transmission.
Right.
So you don't have the same movable parts, the same gears, all those things are gone. So what you're accustomed to maintaining or repairing outside of, your suspension, you may need
Right.
shocks here and there. You're going to need tires. You're going to need
The-
windshield wiper
right.
blades.
But what does that mean for the future of mechanic?
And that's a very good question,
What does
right?
that mean? Like, now are we going to have a whole new specialized subset of mechanics that work on, specifically electric cars?
You may.
Yeah, I think.
And-
I mean, it
and,
would
yeah,
make sense
I
to me
don't-
that you would have to.
I don't see you having an option. I mean, and we're talking the same high performance horsepower for this vehicle.
Right.
We're talking 0 to 60 at the standard at 5.5 seconds. We're talking about being able to tow a couple of tons, 4,000 pounds. And of course, this includes air suspension for this vehicle. So we're talking about a great, and it looks luxurious
look
for those
luxurious.
that are tuned in. You're watching this. I mean, this is a standard luxury item coming from Audi.
I like it.
95 kilowatt hour battery. So we're talking somewhere around a 250 to 350 mile range, depending on how you drive this vehicle. And of course, you're going to be able to charge this at home. You're talking about using the standard NEMA.
That's the cool part.
Yeah.
That's the cool part. It doesn't require some crazy, weird battery stand thingy.
Exactly. This is your standard NEMA 1450 plug. This is the
Right.
same thing you currently find behind your washer dryer.
Right.
So 240 volt, 50 amp
Park
outlet.
it in the garage.
Yeah.
Plug it up.
And
done.
you're good to go. And of course, you can charge on the go with this because it's going to be able to use Audi's own public charging system as well as your standard
Right.
CHAdeMO, which you can find right now across the United States.
I'm going to give a preliminary thumbs up and say I think they did good with this one.
Yeah. I think the planning has been there.
Planning is nice.
And here's the thing. This is coming from a big box brand.
Right.
What I mean by that is this is a company that's been in the car game for decades.
Long time.
This is not a company that was fresh on the heat, that's fresh out the box like a Tesla,
Right.
or a company like Lucid Air.
Right.
These are two companies that have built vehicles. The Lucid vehicle hasn't come to market yet. We did see the Fisker Karma when the Tesla first came out, but that vehicle in itself had a lot of issues, especially with hardware and fires.
Yes.
But
Although Tesla's pretty sweet to drive.
yeah,
So
yeah.
when I worked at Square, that was our company cars.
Nice. Very nice.
Company
Very
cars.
nice.
So I got to try out the Teslas a couple times. They're
Yeah.
so quiet.
They are.
They're so quiet.
I'm officially with this once again. 2019 release date. You can reserve this vehicle now. And I think this is going to rival the Model X, which is the only other SUV right now. Outside of Porsche's working on a full SUV for the Cayenne series. They have a hybrid right now that you can charge. And there's one other company that's working on an electric SUV that escapes me. But I'm excited to see this. My biggest concern is people, one, being comfortable moving away from gasoline and being able to get past the fear factor.
God, what would that mean for Houston? What would that mean for Houston?
That's a very big question, right? And I think that, your Exxon Mobils, your BP, I think that they are smart in starting to invest in battery technology, because when you see vehicles like this that's carrying 100 kilowatt hours, where we carry 5 kilowatts in our laptops, or 6 or 10 kilowatts. A vehicle that's carrying 100 kilowatts is able to charge in about 30 minutes to give you 80% of your power. People are going to move away from gas.
People are going to not want to go to the gas station.
Who wants to stop when you don't have to?
I wouldn't.
Right? It's not one of those things, right?
No.
And being able to DC fast charge, when DC fast charging is around everywhere. Oh, Jaguar I-Pace was the other person I was thinking of.
Yes. I knew it was a luxury brand. I couldn't think of it though.
It's crazy, the competition that we're going to be seeing in the next couple of years. Would you buy one though?
That's a yes for me.
Would you buy one?
I would.
It's a yes for me. I need to see how Audi's. I would love to. I've driven the Model X. Have I driven the X? I think I've driven the X. I can't remember. I think I drove the X before. But I like to drive this E-Tron first to get a feel for the steering and the handling.
For me, it's less about the driving, and it's more about when I do need to get something fixed. Like, what are my options and the convenience there and the cost? Because until it becomes a kind of mainstream thing, I would think it's a pretty, specialized area of work on these now. And then you just take it to Audi,
well, I can compare it to Tesla, right? So with Teslas, you take your cars in. They have 2 service centers here in Houston, and obviously they have service centers across the United States. But you got 2 options, one in West Chase, one up on Rankin at 45. And they'll give you a loaner if you need a loaner vehicle. But normally the repairs are less than a couple of days. Normally, if you need, we're talking even full motor swaps.
Wow.
Same day.
Because it's easier.
It's a lot easier. It's literally taking, a disconnection of a couple of components and swapping. Battery pack swaps are really fast. So there's not a lot of stuff to fix on these vehicles.
That makes sense.
And that's the shift of the vehicles cost a little bit more because the cost per kilowatt is a little higher than the cost per gallon.
But you're not paying for gas.
But you're not paying for gas. You're not paying for maintenance.
Right.
So the shift in a company that's bringing this to fruition, they have to have their dollars in the build of the vehicle versus in the service, because that's where companies make their money at now.
It's a pretty reasonable price.
It is,
considering, right? Like, don't you think?
Yeah, when you factor in the cost of gasoline, and let's say you're spending $300 a month in gas, now you may spend an extra $300 a month on your car note, but now you're balanced out.
Right.
And so if I can balance out with less maintenance over a longer period of time, then I'm saving money.
Ticket. That's my ticket.
You're saving. So
easy peasy.
Let us know what you think. Hit us up on Twitter at the Sphere TV. Use our coveted hashtag Technocrats. We want to know, would you rock with this Audi E-Tron?
I want one.
Are you here for that life? Or are you against it? You're going to stay in gas a little bit longer. But the big question is, will they do what they need to do to market this thing and really get it out there? Speaking of marketing, we got some marketing options for you right here at the Sphere. So, are you starting your business or looking for a place to advertise? Do you have a need to reach out to thousands of people across the world to build your brand or sell your product? If so, get your product placement and advertising needs handled right here at the Sphere. We offer a wide variety of content delivery platforms, including iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, YouTube, and Stitcher. Plus, we have a vast demographic reach within the United States, as well as modern countries across the globe. Our enriched content and inspiring dialogue, coupled with your strategic ad, is surely to hit the mark every time. Call us today at area code 832-772-7789 or send an email over to advertise@thesphere.tv. With the shots. And one last thing I want to make mention is There is some controversy with this E-Tron coming to the United States because currently you cannot have electronic, how do I say this properly? You have to have physical mirrors on your vehicle to pass inspections in the United States.
It's the side mirror thing.
Exactly.
And that was one of the main things that people were like, that's so cool.
And Tesla wanted to do the same thing with the Model S. They had wrote the same thing in with the Model X. But, of course, every time they had to go back or revert back to regular mirrors. Now, obviously, these mirrors do fold in electrically, and you can adjust an angle. But Audi wanted to obviously replace their mirrors with cameras, which is dope. Which is great.
Super dope.
So at some point, we're going to see the change in laws.
It's
that just has to happen.
It's going to happen.
People will get smarter and stop making people work harder.
Right.
Give us cool tech.
Work smarter, not harder, people.
Please give us cool
Thank
tech.
you.
So, staying in our same digital trends because we've got a lot of stuff. Good old Amazon has stepped up to the plate with some new 2018 hardware. Are you ready to dive deep into this?
Let's talk about it.
Let's hop into this.
Let's do it.
Coming from good old TechCrunch, we love them. They tend to put up some great content for us. Looks like there's a new list of Amazon-related hardware and some things that we want to kind of break down for you all. Now, we're gonna not fly through it, but we're going to tackle each one of these just to give you a full feature of what Amazon's bringing to the table for 2018. First and foremost is the new Echo Dot. You got any dots at the house?
I refuse.
Really?
Refuse.
Let me pause that. Hold on a moment, Ari.
I'm not doing it.
What's up? Talk to me.
I'm too private for that. I don't need it.
Really?
It's a little weird. I know, right? Like, it's weird. I'm like, hi, I'm here every week. I'm talking to you about all this. But like, no, I don't want that in my house. No, thank you. Like, my house is my refuge. I don't need a thing, a robot, like, just always in my stuff.
Interesting.
And to me, like, the convenience of it isn't worth the invasiveness.
Now, would you not consider your cell phone as invasive?
Yes, but I consider my cell phone something I cannot live without or function in business without.
And
I can do without the Echo.
And how long did it take for you to feel that way?
That's a good question.
It got real here on
right?
Technocrats.
Right?
It got
like,
really
whoa,
real.
I don't know.
Real fast.
Wow. I guess probably when I started doing business, like when I got into the workforce.
Okay.
I don't feel like I relied on my phone as much when I was like in college.
Sure.
But yeah, I think honestly it's kind of the more the phones can do, the more you rely on them to do.
Sure.
So, I mean, you know, when I had my first cell phone, there was only so much it could do. So, I mean, I think I've probably always relied on it to some extent, like to as much as it could be relied upon. And as they get smarter, you use them more and use them for more things, and they become a more integrated part of your life. Like, okay, so y'all, the charging port on my iPhone died on Friday night. Whew. Yeah, it was a sad day in my life. Very sad. And so,
and which iPhone do you have? The 8 Plus?
The 7 Plus.
7 Plus. So you don't have inductive charging.
Right. It was very sad. And so I was like going, I bought like 4 different chargers. None of them were working. It was like 9:00 on a Friday night. I'm like, I can't do anything about it right now. It was very frustrating.
I could imagine.
Very much. So it was like in those moments you realize just how much you rely on your phone. Because then I'm like, how do I even get to the Apple Store without my GPS?
I feel you. And so this is why I asked you that. I have been an avid user of the Echo Dots, and so that, and I know that's what we were talking about. That was first up to bat from here, and they've got. I love this upgrade. You know, 75% louder for this. They're keeping a great discounted price at $50. But I've been an avid user of putting these dots in places where I want some type of home automation.
Wait, you have multiple dots?
I have multiple dots,
Whoa.
and I'm about to add 2 more dots.
Scary.
Because I need to put one in Kappa Studio and one in Beta Studio. So I can. So in here, from a business perspective,
okay,
I can have conversations anywhere in the world with whoever is in the studio. Right? And I do that now with our admin because I have the smaller Echo Show, which has a little LCD screen that looks like a clock. I use that so we can. And I'll use this as a verb, even though this isn't proper. We can FaceTime Because Apple made it popular. Let's keep it a buck. But we can FaceTime via this Echo Dot in my cell phone or via my Echo Show.
Right.
So we can see each other and have communications regardless of where I'm at.
Right.
I'm adding a couple more, but I like these new Echo Dots. The one that, like I said, they're 75% louder, and they're keeping them at a discounted $50 price point, which is cool.
I think that's actually really affordable for what it does.
For what it does.
I just can't.
But and that's why I say that's why I asked how long you've had it, because I've been in the Echo family for almost 3 years now, ever since they originally released it. And now, after using the first one from 2016 to 2018 going into 2019, there's no way I can go without them because of everything that they do, from alarming my home to turning on lights to reading me news to playing radio. There's so much I utilize them for reminders for my list.
Y'all, he's about to convince me to get
I use them. I use Amazon Alexa daily, right, in every facet of my life, whether it's here or at home.
Now, let me be honest. If I had it, I'd use it. Like when I'm at my friends' houses, I'm like, I like to play with it.
And when
I'm like, hey Alexa, give me a recipe for this.
You know, and it's cool from that perspective. But when it becomes a true utility, like your cell phone, it changes. And now I couldn't do without it. And I'm a little
scared of that. Because I've already got one device I'm attached to. Like, y'all, I thought the world was ending on Friday night. I was like, what?
I could imagine.
And now I've got a new one because I got it replaced. Mm-hmm. And it's annoying because I'm like, am I really going to set up all those apps again? And like log? I don't know passwords. I'm like, everything was on. Everything was on. It's just, you become like, you need it for everything. Like, I was just sitting there like, I can't even check my bank account because my app isn't here. And I don't remember my login.
The number fingerprint.
Yeah, it was a sad situation. I was just like, oh, I'm just going to bed because I'm going to bed. I'm just throw the whole day away.
I'm done. We're done today.
I'm done.
But I like where they're going, Amazon, that is, because they've also got a new product that's for your car. So you've got the Amazon Echo for the car, another $50 price point for this dashboard accessory. And for those that are watching us right now, you can take a look at what this looks like. And basically, you're able to connect this via Bluetooth to get that voice control, hands-free, of course, in your vehicle to get information you need.
Such as
whether it's driving directions, such as adding stuff to your list, such as being able to make phone calls because Alexa can do that.
So it's essentially a hands-free cell phone?
Not a cell phone per se, but that pair for your phone to add the smarts if you don't have that baked in currently, or you prefer to use the Amazon Alexa ecosystem versus using Siri or Google Play. Or
I could see that.
Okay, Google.
I could see that more than like it, because to me I can do all that with my phone.
Yeah, but there's some people who may not like Siri, and I think this is that alternative to having Siri or Google CarPlay or whatever it's called in your vehicle. So, and of course, they're also competing with their new sub. So you've got the booming Echo sub coming in at $130 price point, which is going to shoot at customers like Sonos.
Right.
Apple's big new speaker, which is almost like $300.
It's ridiculous.
Google has their own Google Max audio, and I'm not a big fan of the big speaker in your house.
Me either.
Because I've got great sound equipment anyway. But if I did know, if I was in a smaller apartment, this might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, I can see it.
Especially if you're already in the Echo ecosystem.
Right. Like, see, I'm not. So to me, it's just like I don't connect to it.
Exactly.
Like,
it's an extra accessory.
I'm just like,
Now, one of the cooler things I do like is they're doing some live recording with what they call the Fire TV Recast. Now, what I know, right? So what this does is really cool. This has DVR capabilities as well as capabilities to connect to an antenna that you mount in your home, like a digital antenna, and you're able to receive local broadcasts, record them on your DVR capabilities. And the special thing of why it's called a recast, you're able to broadcast that to Amazon Alexa devices. So if you've got an Amazon show, let's just say, in your bedroom, this now becomes a TV.
Right.
Or if you got one in your office or wherever,
that's pretty cool.
You've now got TV capabilities with this new Fire TV Recast device. Now, this does come at a higher price point of $229.
What do you think? Worth it?
Maybe. Maybe. See, so here's my thing. It would be worth it if it included Amazon Prime TV.
Now that would
Included.
work, right?
So now you're give me services to associate versus just live TV.
Right.
Because, I mean, can you give me my Hulu? Can you give me my Netflix?
All the
can
things.
you bake all that in plus free Prime TV? Now you're getting close to competing with an Apple TV, which can't do the recast.
No.
Thing like that. Doesn't have DVR built in,
No.
but you're now competing with things that I'm accustomed to using because for us who have cut cords, we don't necessarily utilize replay capabilities, DVR functionality. We don't use that anymore.
No,
so
not particularly.
You've got to give me a little bit more bang for this.
Because everything's
buck.
like on demand.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like,
so
I don't need to record it that often.
How often am I
Why?
doing that? So we'll see about that.
We'll see how it goes.
Now, what I do like is this version 2 of the new Echo Show. Let's take a look at this real quick. So coming in at the same $229 price point, this is a 10-inch screen versus your 7-inch screen so that you can utilize this for Skype or any other type of voice call or having conversations between Echo Show devices that you've accustomed to doing with the smart display unit. And I use my Echo Show every day, every morning. This is my alarm clock. I've set up routines where I say, good morning, Alexa, and it will give me the news report, NPR. It'll give me my forecast, and then it'll play my Sirius XM because it's connected to Sirius XM for me. So it'll start my radio. I mean, I literally use this every day. This to me is the new alarm clock. And I like it going to a 10-inch screen because, like I said, if you couple this now to other services, then this can replace somebody's TV or other device that they would normally use in a bedroom. So now you've got more usability out of this.
It's so scary to me. Like, I don't know. Like, and it's weird because obviously, I'm here talking about technology and I love it, obviously. But like, I don't know, man. I have a fear of like technology just infiltrating too much. Like, and I get it. Like, I'm hearing all the ways that you use it, and it makes total sense. And especially in a business sense, with you like traveling and having like being able to monitor and deal with what's going on here.
Sure,
that's amazing. But like, I don't know. And I know so many people have them. And when I'm like there, I'm like, oh, this is cool. I mean, like play with Alexa, but
yeah.
To me, like, I guess if I had a more business, use for it, I actually never, before you had said anything like that, like most people I know would just kind of like use it, I guess, recreationally, you would say, like just kind of in their house, hey, what's the news, blah, 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 blah. But like, I can see how that would be super beneficial business-wise.
I could throw in another business case, right? And so here's the beauty. They roll up new features all the time. One of the new features that they just added a couple of months back was like an all call. Or like a paging system. So you could say, I forgot what the verbiage is because I haven't had to use it, but basically, Alexa, cast to all devices or broadcast, and you could say, let's say at a home, lunch is now served, kids. And then every Alexa device will broadcast that message at the same time, like a PA system almost.
That is weird.
Imagine in a school environment where you put one of these in every classroom.
I think that's cool.
Now you can use it as your real PA system, right? And then you've got the port on the back of it to connect it to regular speakers. So this could be broadcast so much louder.
Right.
So you've got all these capabilities just thinking out the box. It depends. It depends on your use case. For a $35 device, whereas a regular PA system may cost you thousands of dollars. This is an affordable for someone who needs to do it on a budget or someone who may want to do something in a classroom.
Right.
Speaking of being able to connect, they also have a new Ring camera, which a lot of people are using, the Ring security cameras for your home. $180 for that. Like a little stick-up camera, which you can connect to your Amazon Alexa account. Right. But what I really like is their speakerless, which is very new. Their speakerless Echo input. This is basically what I talked about a moment ago. Adding the microphone to your current speaker system. Right. So you simply connect this to a speaker system.
And then you just talk.
And you just talk like you would. And it uses your speakers versus having its own built-in speaker.
Hey, Alexa.
Yeah.
From across the
exactly. And it saves you $15 for those who already have a speaker system. You simply want to add the brains to your speaker. So it's turning your
smart
stereo
speaker system.
into a smart. Exactly. You hit the head on the nail with that. Now, one of the last, they also created a new Amazon Echo Plus. Obviously, they've got a Alexa clock
And
for your wall that
right.
visualizes timers.
And a microwave.
And that's the one I want to really talk about
That's a no
is
for me
this
too.
microwave for those that are up.
That's a no.
The microwave, $60,
No.
which I actually might be willing to demo, maybe. I
don't use a microwave,
but what's really cool about this is basically you can add more time to your microwave input from an Alexa. So you can just add time if you need to heat up something a little bit longer. Yeah, I know it's gimmicky. I can see the way you're looking at me.
You see my face.
Yeah,
right?
it's gimmicky. But $60.
Oh, because
somebody's gonna buy
I can't
it.
get off my couch long enough to go.
I know, right? I know.
That's uber lazy.
Yeah. They've got a smart plug, which makes sense, basically an on and off device. They've got a new Echo Link, which connects to your amps. And then, of course, you've got multiple updates for the software. That's it. A lot of devices.
It's a lot of things.
Amazon's doing
Amazon's
it.
killing it, y'all.
They're killing it. But they're going to keep a smile on your face for those who are looking for great products and great connectivity.
I love Amazon.
Yeah.
No, I think it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're doing their
Amazon
thing.
now is
Yeah, they're
Saved
doing
my
their
life a few
thing.
times.
Smile, folks. That's how it's
I
supposed to
know.
be. Speaking of smiles, this particular portion is sponsored by Elite Dental Wellness. At Elite Dental Wellness, their vision is to create a welcoming practice that will offer exceptional dental care and a lifetime of dental wellness. They're committed to the finest possible oral care and overall health and well-being of their patients. Elite Dental Wellness is built upon a foundation of integrity, expertise, and service. Throughout their commitment to modern dentistry, continued education, and a friendly atmosphere, they strive to make their patients feel that they're part of their family. Dentistry can be scary, daunting, and uncomfortable, but Dr. Bertice and her team work tirelessly to ensure your comfort. Make your appointment today with Dr. Chandra Bertice at Elite Dental Wellness by calling 713-789-8680. And if you say the Sphere, you receive 10% off your first dental treatment. So,
Don't forget, y'all.
shout out to Elite Dental Wellness. Make sure you say the Sphere, receive that 10% off. Last but not least, as we wrap up, still staying in the digital trends, folks, because there's been a lot of new stuff that lives.
So many things because
I
we're
know, right?
approaching holiday season.
Yeah,
now,
we
so
are.
It's gonna be it's gonna get crazy.
We
with
are.
all the things.
And this particular thing is kind of cool.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's a ring that allows you to feel your heartbeat of your significant other
Yes.
in real time.
In real time. y'all.
Anywhere in the world.
Creepy or no?
Yeah, kinda. You want to talk about this for a little bit? What's
so
up?
I mean, so a friend of mine on Facebook posted this, and I was like scrolling through, and I was like, "What?" I think my first reaction was like, "That's super cool," but then it's like, there's some morbid scenarios I can think of where I wouldn't want to have that on me. Like, I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to take a dark twist, but like, there's scenarios where I could be like, I don't know.
Well, I like
it.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool.
And
I
for
think
those
it's
that are
unique.
watching, when we scroll down a little bit, you get an idea of how this device is built out with the
Right.
housing and the connectors. You got to keep it charged.
I mean, I don't think they're physically that. I mean, I don't think they're aesthetically that pleasing.
You know what? I actually thought they looked great. It
From a
looks
guy,
techy.
like a guy
Yeah.
ring, it's awesome. But like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to wear that.
Yeah, I know you would want you want a diamond,
Hello.
perhaps.
Well,
Perhaps
you
a
know.
diamond and more.
I don't know.
But I like the idea of being able to tap it to get a response, syncing it with a simple app,
Yeah.
and feeling
It
your
seems-
partner's heartbeat.
It seems pretty like, kind of pop out the box and sync it and go. It seems pretty simple
Yeah.
to use, which, ease of use is always a positive. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know. Would you personally?
Yep.
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 You're on it.
In a heartbeat.
You're on it.
Ah! I did it. I've been waiting for that.
Da-doom, doom.
We
I
did
see
a
what you
heartbeat.
did
Yeah,
there.
we need
Get
we
it,
need that.
get it,
The
get it.
da-da-da.
We need a
Well,
boom,
we
boom
need one of
sound.
those for our setup, Mike.
Sound effects. Sound effects.
But yeah, I would definitely pre-order.
I
If I was in a relationship, yeah, I'd
I
order
would
this.
do it, but like I said, it would need to be more aesthetically pleasing for a female.
I agree.
I think they could do better.
Or maybe just use it as the band and still have a.
Well,
your
even as a
center.
band, it's not my
kinda
favorite.
big.
It's kind of big. And it's a little big.
Maybe
like,
wear it on your other finger, maybe. Like wear your regular ring on one and wear the thing on the other.
I don't know. I mean, to me, like, it's just aesthetically not pleasing at all, and I wouldn't want it. Like, just because of that. Like, I think it's an awesome concept, but if they could figure out how to, house the technology in something a little.
Yeah.
More
a little more
feminine.
Yeah, a little more pleasing
To the eye, if you will.
I agree.
Then like I would be, but I mean, look at that. That's a lot. It seems like a man's band. Like it seems like something a man would wear. It just doesn't seem feminine at all. And I don't know. I mean, maybe with the technology, you really can't. I don't know if you can.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, it's obviously requires you to have a smartphone on both sides
right.
once you sync the device. But I think about it from a safety perspective as well, to some degree, like being able to know that your significant other or loved one is safe, maybe during a hurricane or something like that. They're out of town. Yeah, like and they still have service.
Right.
You know, being able to tap the ring and you know that they're okay. They
so
tap
that's
back.
the thing though. Like if you don't have cell service, does the ring stop working?
It stops working. You've got to be able to have some type with the Wi-Fi or cellular service on your mobile phone in order for the signal to be sent. Because it really is the two phones talking.
Right, it's the two phones
and it's
talking.
actuating the device. And then the device actuates based on a command. So the concept is pretty simple.
The concept is simple,
it's
but
just we've never seen it applied like this.
No, and I think it's the first time we've seen anything like this. I'm sure there'll be vast improvements on it going forward, but like
smaller and more
beautiful,
Yeah.
a little more aesthetically pleasing,
Yeah,
and
maybe
also
able to bake it in.
Well, I mean, there are ways to like circumvent that. You just turn your phone off, and now you're like, you don't know.
You circumvent it. Yes, indeed.
See what I did there?
I saw you. I saw you. But we want to know what y'all like. Y'all, would you like this? You like the way it looks? Is it something that you would want?
Because my friend that posted it was
add?
like, I want this for me and my wife.
Yeah,
and I was like,
think it's cool.
Cool.
Get the full touch.
All the
full
time.
touch. But let us know. Either hit us up on social media, hit us up on Instagram at the Sphere TV. Use our hashtag Technocrats. Yes. Let us know. Would you like to rock with a haptic ring?
Partner's heartbeat.
Yeah, getting that heartbeat
all
back from
your
significant other. Well, Ari, this has been a pleasure-packed week of tech news.
Always.
Thank you, my dear. I appreciate you. Appreciate the insight today.
Yes.
Appreciate the
I
insight.
love being here every
Hopefully
week.
we can get Audi to send you a E-Tron to demo.
Audi, if you're listening,
come on. Talk to him.
Come on, man. I'm here for it. I will review it all. I will do a special episode.
We would do a special review.
Just for that, if you will let me drive it around.
Yeah, I'm here for that. I want to drive it too.
I might let you passenger.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'll hold the camera. That's all I'll do.
Yes, Audi, please.
Yes, indeed. Let the good people know where they can reach you or if you got anything going on.
What do I have going on? You can reach me, as always, at Dish with Ari, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. You can also reach me at dishwithari@gmail.com. Talk to me. Let me know if there's anything cool you might want to talk about in the upcoming weeks. I would love to hear from you. I get a lot of cool stuff from all you awesome folks out there, so keep it coming.
Cool beans. And of course, if you got any questions for me, folks, anywhere online, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, at G Hawkins. That's G Hawkins with a Z. If you got any questions about what we do here on the show, shoot us an email, technocrats@thesphere.tv, or hit us across social media at the Sphere TV. Use our hashtag Technocrats so we can get back with you. This has been another electronic episode.
Love it.
We will see you all next time. Take care, folks.
Have a good one.